Hey everyone, my voice is audible. My voice is audible. Now my voice is audible. So in this today's live session, I will talk about what we need to build a AI native company from idea to company launch. So this is the full framework. So I will go through each concept. So throughout this live session, we will understand how you can capture a problem and how you can convert that problem into a business, and then how you can create a software. Then we will launch and then we monitor. So we have the entire framework. Okay, so from from a perspective of a product engineer, and then we shift to a software engineer, because at this moment in AI era, if you want to build any AI native company, so you don't have to hire a team, because AI can help you out to build a software. But you have to understand the fundamental things, how you can make money, or how you can overall understand the flow. So I just create an entire guys roadmap. It takes a lot of research, and if you look at, I have also the documents, so I can go through a little bit about it. If you look at, I research a lot about the technical things, business things, psychological things, and even I have my own software. So it's a very production ready, and the, it has more than uh, 90K or 90,000 lines of code. So I will share all the insight, the perspective I have from my code base. So I designed this software and it takes 6 months. So anyways, so the roadmap is very simple. So right now I'm just waiting for few people. If they join, I will start discussing. Look at, even I also create a mind map here. If you look at, I have before software engineering, you have to understand the root cause. Because software engineering is a solution, right? How each things flow is very important. Believe it or not, it's very important. So, according to my research, I just create a paradigm. So I call it's a, well, let me zoom a little bit. So now it's, so guys, if you are first time here, discussing, I'm just about to discuss how you capture the problem and convert that problem into software or solution. So I just overall create an entire workflow. If you understand, before software engineering, okay, so we have software engineering. So that's the solution part. But if you look at before you create a solution, why do you need the other parts? Because we are living a very AI native or AI agentic era. So this part, if you want to create, AI can help you out. So in this session, we are talking about the product engineer. So product engineer needs both of mental model. First, software engineering, and then a little bit of business and overall market. So here I'm not talking about fully economics, but my ultimate goal is just give you a intuition about what what you can create, what your product create value, how you can capture the valuable things. Because so I call it's a I call it a pain avoidance paradigm. So everything start with human, right? So guys, I have a document as well. If you look at, I have technical document, I have business document, psychological document, and my own company document. So I will go through a little bit about that definition, and if you like to read or just understand definition, so I have also. Don't worry, but here I just give you a mental model so that we can actually focus to building our software, because my ultimate goal to teach you software, okay, but I observe you need to know about this company creation life cycle and value creation life cycle, right? Because if you understand, then you can create a valuable product. Because nowadays it's very easy to build product, but if the question is, do people want your product, how you can actually create a right product. So those concepts is very important. So from product engineering perspective, we have to know these things. So guys, I research a lot last 4 or 5 years, and in my I call it a pain avoidance paradigm. So everything starts with human. The world exists because of human, right? So in this assumption, so this is the first step of our journey. That's called pain avoidance paradigm. So I want to say something before discuss anything. So everything started with a human. So I have a sentence I called, human being are pleasure seeking machine, pain avoidance into our DNA. No matter how disciplined or moral we are pretend to be, at the end of the day, we chase pleasure and we crave dopamine in a different format. When you say a different format, somebody like watching game, playing playing game, alcohol, drinking, having fun with um, a family, and clubbing, all this stuff. These are just format. But if you understand from our brain perspective, people and brain only things give me a relief from how I feel inside. That's all. So that's I call pain avoidance paradigm. You are just, and everybody have the self-interest, right? We have three pillar. To understand these three pillar, we have to understand this paradigm. We have three pillar, and each pillar is very important. Now our ultimate goal to discuss about the fully this technology part, because we are the builder, so we can create a solution. But this two part is very important. So the first part is psychology. So basically psychology says human behavior. So through psychology we can understand human behavior. And then we have economics. So economics create and capture value, which means economics monetize human behavior. Then we have technology. So technology scale that behavior, which is scale value efficiently. So we have the arrows, understand people, create value, and scale company, and scale value. This is this is the core idea of our session. If you want to build a company, so you have to understand these three things: understand people, create value, scale value. And yeah, and technology is very interlinked. Psychology influence technology, economics influence technology, even technology influence psychology, technology influence also economics. So these are very interlinked with technology. That's the intuition you will get from this session. So the key insight from this paradigm, so psychology explained a behavior, as I said, economics monetize behavior, and technology scales a behavior. Why I'm saying it, nowadays we have a creator, so now creator also monetize their activity, and they scale throughout the world. So technology help it. If you talk about the who are creating adult content, they also monetize their behavior, right? So that's the intuition you can get from here. And overall, the product, the companies, the society emerge from the interaction of psychology and economics. Then we have, guys, the second part. This is our pain avoidance paradigm. So we have also a document about it, but I'm not gonna go through the document. Just my ultimate goal to give you. So this is the value creation system. So we talk about this one, pain avoidance paradigm. Then we have the value creation system. So before creating a company or software, we have to understand this value creation system. It's very important. So here we have two things. We have a value creation system. So we have two things: perspective and participant. So if you are a first time, so I want to give you this branch. So the second part we are talking value creation. So first part is like pain avoidance paradigm and value creation. So before creating software, so you have to understand this value creation. Then you can create a better software. Okay, so we have also software engineering. Don't worry. So we'll talk about very deeply about software engineering journey. But before coming here, we have to understand our value creation parts. So if you understand the value creation, so this is our software engineering life cycle, and then we have also the software engineering framework. So our ultimate goal to spend more time on this part. So we want to understand how you can design our system end to end, and but before discuss these things, we have to create an intuition. Why do you want to create a software? What is the reason? Okay, to understand this type of reason, we have to understand our value creation system, because these create two things. So first, I talk about this pain avoidance paradigm. Okay, so here I already talked about it, but now the second frame is value creation. It's very important, guys. Value means why do people care about your product, your software, or whatever it is, right? So that's called a value, because they use your product because they get a value from your product. So we have a value creation system. So when you talk about system, system means what exists. That's in simple terms system. So we have, this is a cycle, right? So we have a cycle. The cycle is human problems. As I said, to understand human problem, we have to understand psychology, because psychology helps us a lot to understand human problems. And we have, so here we have human problem. Then we have value creation. So this part, who create the participant? So we have three participants. So I'll talk about, but we have consumer, founders, and builder. Next, I talk about it. Then we have a value delivery. Who deliver? The founder part and builder part. Then we have value consumption. Who consume these things? A human. And then we have new problem, because problem never ends. Because human just evolve around a new solution. So that is a cycle. Okay, this is a cycle. And then the key idea from this value creation system: every product, company, and technology exists because someone had a problem worth solving. So if you solve that problem, you will get reward. That's the whole point of it. And the value creation system can be understood through two complementary abstraction. So guys, this is my design. Okay, so I designed based off my understanding. And so we have two perspectives. The perspective says how the system is viewed, and participant says who act within the system. So in this case, I just talk about three participants. So this is a value creation cycle. So these three people create a value. So our core concept is human. So I just categorize that human into three parts. We have consumer, who experience the problems, the founder, who creates values, and the builder or software engineer in this case, who scale values. Because our goal to like this: psychology explains behaviors, economics monetize behavior, and technology scale behavior. So this is the like understand people, create value, and scale value. So how you can scale value? Through software. And how you monetize? Through economics or businesses. So this is a cycle. If you understand the cycle like this, so consumer receives a better solution. So if you understand from, if you think from a consumer perspective, so consumer, so this is a cycle. Okay, so we have also perspective, but let's talk about the cycle. So consumer receive, if you look at here, a better solution, and then so here, consumer experience problems, and then founder creates that value. So founders observe that problem, and he plan all the stuff. So we'll talk about later when you discuss company creation, how founders convert the problem into a solution. Then we have software engineer scales a value, or builder scales that value. Then at the end, consumer receive better solution.